I'm visiting Mike Creel near Lexington, South Carolina. Mike is an expert on all things native in the plant community, and we came today to learn about native azaleas. Mike, what distinguishes native azaleas from the ones that we more typically see?
Well, native azaleas are naturally occurring in the wild in different locales, and all native azaleas are deciduous. They're not evergreen. So that's one good thing, because every winter they drop all the leaves and drop all the pests. But they occur in the wild. There are places where nobody planted them. You can get them from nurseries from time to time, or propagate them yourself and grow them in your yard, and they do wonderful in yards. But you have to realize that no evergreen leaves, but also fewer pests and greater hardiness, more variety of color, good smells.
Mike, one of the things that's fun about these is, since the leaves are just coming out, when some of them start to bloom, you really get to see that flower. And tell me how the flower clusters are arranged. You said there are lots and lots that come from that you'll find together.
Well, native azaleas have a single bud, and that bud can have anywhere from 8 up to even 50 flowers in a single bud. So when it unfolds, you see it opening, and some country people call that, when it starts to open, it looks like a turkey foot. They call that a turkey foot azalea, but it will open up, and in each of those little small buds will have multiple buds in them. So say if you've got 10 flowers in a bud, and somehow you've gotten 3 buds together, you've got 30 flowers in what they call a ball truss.
We also talked about the fragrance that so many of them have. It's one of the sweetest, but it's a light, delicate fragrance. And you said that some of them are even called, people got it mixed up with something else that flowers in the spring that's real fragrant.
Well, some people think that they're smelling yellow jasmine, but if you look around right now, there's no yellow jasmine, and the things that are fragrant mostly right now are the native azaleas, and also probably half or more of your dogwoods are fragrant. But you have to wait for the bloom to open up, and the bloom is the little center yellow part. We've got 8 species of native azalea that occur wildly in South Carolina, great range of color, and I'd say about half of them are fragrant.
One of the things that is interesting is that we think of, when you have azalea festivals in places, they're looking at the imported azaleas. But do you have a long bloom time with our native azaleas?
If you grow all the species that are native locally in the states of like North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, you can have bloom all the way from earliest spring over into as late as September. They like, most of them like high shade. By high, I mean way up in the air shade, not amount of shade. And also they like acid soil, most of them do. There's at least one that likes circumneutral soil. But that acid soil and the high shade just really favor them. And a big thing I've got growing them is to go out on dry days and prospect for planting sites. And what I try to do is I try to plant plants where they'll live and survive, as opposed to where I think I might like them. You know, plant plants where they want to be, not where you want them to be.
So high shade is one thing that's good. How about drainage? And do you want to have, do they like to be planted somewhat high, like camellias and other plants that do well in acid soils?
If you're in sandy area, we're in the fall line sandhills right here. You can plant them just flat. In fact, there's so much sand here, I've even taken old stump holes. And a stump hole is probably one of the best places anywhere to plant something. And I'll take a shovel and I'll redig all the rotted bark from a tree into the stump hole and plant the plant in the stump hole. I've never had a azalea die planted in a stump hole, never. And that even works in clay areas, but if you got more clay, you do need to uplift them some. But we're sandy right here.
Mike, I think that other people are interested in heritage plants, and these, of course, do have a wonderful heritage. They're native and not even just ones that were imported and used for a long time. If people would like to learn more about these plants, where's the best place to do that?
I would go on the internet and go to the websites of the American Rhododendron Society and the Azaleas Society of America, and look at all their information. Also become a member, and both of them have great publications.
Well, we thank you so much for sharing this beautiful landscape that you've created with us today.
Thank you.